Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Next, we are going to be putting the spotlight on the Afghanistan earthquake. And to talk to us about this issue is Dr. Mohammed Haroon Khatibi. He is with the Humanitarian Assistance Society. And we're going to be looking at the aid required. Has the international community come to the fore? Are they assisting the Afghani people in a very, very dire time of need? What exactly is happening? What are the numbers looking like of the people who've perished in this devastating earthquake? And how, and what is the light at the end of the tunnel for the Afghani people in this region of Afghanistan? Dr. Mohammed Haroon Khatibi, Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Professor Julie.
Oh, no, I'm not a professor. I'm not a professor. It's just Julie.
Okay.
Shukran. Welcome to the program. What is the current situation like in that part of Afghanistan where the earthquake struck? We're getting differing figures from the United Nations. We are being told by the Afghani people that over 1,100 people have perished, whereas the Western world is saying it's around about 700 people. But even one life lost is a life too much. But do fill us in on the details.
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and my greetings to you and to your listeners and viewers in South Africa and elsewhere. Actually, if we look at the issue of Afghan issue, especially the latest earthquake, and before that 2 days before the earthquake, there was a very severe flooding from the northeastern of Afghanistan to the down to the southern eastern part. In fact, joined in some part of the things with the earthquake. We had almost 500 people dead in that flooding, and hundreds or I could say thousands of houses were destroyed, or partly or completely. That one, the media didn't give any they didn't cover, no coverage for that part. Of course, it came the earthquake of Wednesday, which was in the mid of the night. It started, and the people, they were sleeping in their houses in 2 provinces, Paktika and Khost. The most casualties were in Paktika in 4 districts. Guyana is the severest, and Barmal, Zirok, and also in Khost province was the district of Spiri.
Okay, so Dr. Mohammed, let me ask you this question, if you don't mind, because we do need to end the program exactly at 10 o'clock South African time. The international community are just not coming to the table. They're not coming as far as aid is concerned. They are suggesting it is because Afghanistan's draconian laws against girl children, not allowing girl children going to school. Shortly after the Americans pulled out of Afghanistan, we know that the situation regarding aid was crucial and very dire. Again, the international community did not come forward and aid and assist the Afghani people. We know there's abject poverty in much of Afghanistan. And despite that, the international community has kept their eyes and ears closed to your plight. Do you think this situation now will make the Taliban change their mind about allowing girl children going to school? And if that happens, are you confident that you'll get the aid, the much aid needed in Afghanistan, and that the Americans will release the money that is rightfully the Afghanistani people's money?
Yeah. Let me first put it in this way that the international community, I would say one thing, we got a good response, alhamdulillah, since the time of the regime change in Afghanistan. And now that is the action of the Muslim organizations. For the first time, they are coming in full power, alhamdulillah. Our Muslim brethren all over the world, they are taking part, helping the people from Iran, from Pakistan, from Qatar, from other parts of our neighboring, like Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan and Turkey. They had sent enough aid, alhamdulillah. I can't say it's enough, but they were there from the very early hours. Maybe at least they give us, as I'm chairman of Humanitarian Assistance Society, they give us the green light from the very beginning that you will be there. And we were on the field from the very beginning of the things when we heard the earthquake. But unfortunately, the other part, which I would say the Western organizations or the UN organizations, they are misleading the people. Now, I read one of the articles, I think it was sent, it was saying that the perished people are 700. This is actually something to be, is not true. And likewise, they will announce that they will raise fund for this issue, but they want to use it as a political pressure on the government. While this is a humanitarian issue, there are lots of people are dying. Still, the people actually, I was expecting from the very day first. I thought maybe the international community, at least our neighboring countries, they would come with their tools to help our infrastructures in those areas, which is one of the result of the American occupation. In last 20 years, we don't have infrastructures. The roads are so that even we couldn't rescue the injured people to take them to a hospital, and there is no hospital. And one should ask this: what is this NATO and UN? What they were doing in the last 20 years? They robbed us. They came there. They were robbing us. They robbed uranium and lithium and all those things. But I say, alhamdulillah, there is a good response from the Muslim countries, and I would thank for that one our Muslim brothers in South Africa and other part of the Malaysia. The first country who arrived in Afghanistan in these things, it was Malaysia, although it's very far from things. But alhamdulillah, I'm very thankful, and alhamdulillah, I see there is an awareness among the Muslim community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Mohammed, as we speak now, are you comfortable with the amount of relief aid that you are receiving from the Muslim organizations? I know that, alhamdulillah, our very own Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman from Gift of the Givers has also pledged. They probably are on the ground supplying lots of aid to the Afghanistani people. Is it enough, or do you need the Western countries to come to further aid the people in that region and get them back on their feet? And my final question then, do you believe it is fair for the international community to insist that the Taliban send girl children back to school, and only then will they normalize relations with the Taliban government? And I do know you've pointed out that these are two distinct issues. The one is humanitarian, the other one is political. Undoubtedly, the Western world is playing political games with the Afghani people. But do you believe that that might just normalize the relationship between the Western world and Afghanistan?
No, I think the Western world, they must understand that under pressure, you cannot force Afghanistan to do something for you. We resisted the Soviet Union. They were there. They wanted to change our country. But the Afghans, they resisted the American occupation and the NATO occupation. They were forcing everything. The Afghans, they went against them. They cannot force Afghanistan to do something. But that is a mentality. I hope that some parts of Taliban narrow mind mentality is there. They are going against that things. While we didn't have any problem with school going girls in the last say 100 years when the schools were opening, because there was no co-education in Afghanistan. But still, inshallah, I hope that would be solved very soon. But on the other hand, the Western people, Western countries, international community, if we refer to them also, they must avoid pressuring Afghanistan. They should feel like human to come and help in a human crisis there. The aid which are there still is not enough, is not sufficient. There's the as I told you, is not only these two provinces, the earthquake we had before this. 11 other provinces, there were floodings and all those things. So they must come help. And I would suggest to our brothers and sisters, Muslim brothers and sisters, and all those human loving people, those who want to come help, please, this is not only the issue just to give a small package of food to the people. We have got the real things. The people, they lost their livestock, they lost their houses. That is something which our organizations, they must think to come and take part and rebuild the houses for the people, and give them something to they live again on those things. Buy them cows and cattle and give them like
So it's
they must
huge. It's
stand
a
on their.
huge. It's a very, very big undertaking. And we make dua, inshallah, that common sense prevails and the Western world and other agencies do come and do all of the hard work that needs to get the Afghani people back on their feet. We have to leave the interview there. Undoubtedly, we will be talking again with you sometime again in the future to get an update. Dr. Mohammed Haroon Khatibi, shukran very much from the Humanitarian Assistance Society. Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Shukran. Thank you, Sister Julie. And I thank again all your team and the South African people and the whole Muslim Ummah for their feelings and stand with our people. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.
Ameen. Thumma ameen. Walaikum salam. It's 3 after 9 o'clock exactly. Zai Jadwood is standing by with a news bulletin. We'll be hooking up with him in a few seconds time. So do stand by.